You walk into Walmart, head straight to the appliance section, and there they are, rows of shiny refrigerators with those big yellow energy tags and sale prices that make your wallet feel a little safer. The salesperson might tell you about cubic feet and energy ratings, but there's a whole lot they're leaving out. Last month, my neighbor bought what looked like a steal on a French door model. 3 weeks later, she was calling a repairman. Turns out she'd walked right into one of the industry's worst-kept secrets. Today, I'm breaking down the 10 things Walmart doesn't tell you about their refrigerators. And some of these might just change your mind about that purchase. Secret number 1, the model number switcheroo. Let's start with something that'll change how you look at those price tags forever. Walmart sells what the industry calls builder grade or promotional models of major brand refrigerators. You'll see a Whirlpool or GE with a model number that's just slightly different from what you'd find at a dedicated appliance store. That WRT518SZFM at Walmart? It's not quite the same as the WRF535SWHZ at your local appliance dealer, even though they look identical standing side by side. Here's what's different. These Walmart-exclusive models use thinner gauge steel in the cabinet. The shelves are slightly lighter plastic. The compressor might be a less expensive model that does the same job but runs a bit louder and uses marginally more energy over its lifetime. The door hinges are perfectly functional, but they're rated for fewer open-close cycles. One appliance technician I spoke with put it bluntly, "These fridges are built to a price point, and that means something has to give." The genius of it is that most shoppers will never know the difference until years down the road. The refrigerator works fine. It keeps food cold. But that French door model that seemed like such a bargain at $1,200? The similar-looking one at the appliance store for $1,600 has a compressor that's rated to last 15 years instead of 10, and shelves that won't crack when you put a heavy pot of leftovers on them. Walmart isn't doing anything illegal here. They're simply working with manufacturers to hit specific price targets that get people in the door. Secret number 2, those energy labels are fantasy numbers. Let's talk about those energy ratings, because this is where things get really interesting. You've probably noticed those big yellow energy guide labels on every refrigerator, telling you the estimated yearly operating cost. What Walmart doesn't advertise is that these estimates are based on laboratory conditions that have almost nothing to do with how you actually use a refrigerator. The Department of Energy testing procedure keeps the fridge in a climate-controlled room at 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The doors are opened a specific number of times per day for exact durations. The refrigerator is loaded with standardized test packages that simulate food. In other words, the testing conditions assume you live alone, barely eat at home, and keep your house at a temperature that would make most people uncomfortable. A real family's refrigerator gets open dozens of times per day. Kids stand there with the door wide open trying to decide what to eat. You load it with warm groceries that the compressor has to work to cool down. And maybe your kitchen gets hot when you're cooking dinner. All of these factors can increase actual energy consumption by 20 to 40% compared to that yellow label estimate. Here's the kicker. Walmart knows this. Every appliance retailer knows this. But those official energy guide numbers are what gets advertised because they're standardized and comparable. A refrigerator that the label says costs $45 per year to run might actually cost you $65 or more depending on your household habits and climate. Secret number 3. Temperature zones are all over the place. The temperature inconsistency issue deserves its own conversation because this affects not just energy costs, but food safety. Most refrigerators sold at Walmart, particularly the lower and mid-range models, don't maintain consistent temperatures throughout the interior. The back panel near the cooling element might be 34 degrees, while the front of the bottom shelf sits at 42 degrees. The door bins, where many people store dairy and condiments, can fluctuate between 45 and 50 degrees depending on how often the door opens. Food safety guidelines say your refrigerator should stay at 40 degrees or below. But consumer testing has found that roughly 60% of budget-friendly refrigerators have zones that regularly exceed this temperature. Your milk stored in the door might be spending half its time in the danger zone for bacterial growth. That's why it sometimes goes bad before the expiration date, even though you swear you just bought it. The French door models popular at Walmart have a particular problem with this. The wide refrigerator compartment makes it harder to maintain even cooling, and the freezer drawer at the bottom is prone to frost buildup that can interfere with the automatic defrost cycle. Several manufacturers have faced class action lawsuits over these issues, but the refrigerators keep selling because shoppers don't realize the problem until they're already dealing with spoiled food and ice buildup. Secret number 4. The ice maker is a ticking time bomb. Speaking of ice makers, let's address the elephant in the room. Or rather, the broken ice maker in your kitchen. If you buy a refrigerator with a built-in ice maker from Walmart, you're looking at roughly a 40% chance of needing repairs or replacement within the first 5 years. That's not an exaggeration. Consumer Reports data shows that ice makers are the single most failure-prone component in modern refrigerators. The ice makers in Walmart's promotional models are particularly problematic. They're often sourced from third-party manufacturers rather than being made by the refrigerator company itself. The water inlet valves are plastic instead of brass. The ice mold heaters that help release the ice cubes are lower wattage, which means they sometimes don't melt enough to release cleanly, leading to jams. The auger that dispenses the ice uses a smaller motor that can burn out if the ice bin gets too full and compact. I talked to an appliance repair technician who said ice maker repairs are easily his most common service call for Walmart refrigerators. The repair typically costs between $200 and $400, and the replacement ice maker is often just as likely to fail as the original because it's the same design. Many owners eventually just give up and buy ice cube trays, which kind of defeats the purpose of paying extra for the ice maker feature in the first place. Secret number 5. Water filters don't filter what you think. The water filtration system is another area where Walmart models cut corners. You'll see that little indicator light telling you when to change the filter every 6 months. What they don't mention is that these filters in budget models are often rated for fewer gallons than the premium versions. The filter housing itself might be cheaper plastic that can crack over time and cause leaks. And replacement filters, which you'll need to buy from Walmart or online, can run $40 to $60 each. Here's something that surprised me when I started researching this. Many of the water filters in lower-end refrigerators don't actually remove as many contaminants as you'd expect. They'll handle chlorine taste and some sediment, but testing has shown that cheaper filters are less effective at removing lead, pesticides, and pharmaceuticals that might be in your water supply. You're paying for the convenience of chilled, filtered water, but you might not be getting the water quality you assume you're getting. Secret number 6. Extended warranties are mostly a scam. The warranty situation at Walmart is a whole separate issue that deserves attention. Most refrigerators come with a 1-year manufacturer's warranty covering parts and labor. Walmart will happily sell you an extended warranty for anywhere from $100 to $300 depending on the refrigerator price. The sales pitch sounds good, protection for 3, 4, even 5 years beyond the manufacturer coverage. But read the fine print on those extended warranties. They're usually administered by third-party companies, not Walmart and not the manufacturer. The contracts are full of exclusions. Normal wear and tear isn't covered. If the technician determines the problem was caused by improper installation or maintenance, you're out of luck. Some warranties require you to use specific repair companies, and good luck getting an appointment within a reasonable time frame. Consumer advocates generally recommend against these extended warranties for refrigerators. The data shows that most failures happen either within the first year when the manufacturer's warranty covers them, or after 5 to 7 years when even the extended warranty would have expired. You're better off taking that $200 and putting it in a savings account for potential repairs. Secret number 7. Delivery teams aren't what you'd expect. The delivery and installation process at Walmart is another area where things can go sideways. Unlike dedicated appliance stores that have their own trained delivery teams, Walmart contracts with third-party delivery services. Sometimes you'll get experienced professionals. Other times, you'll get whoever was available that day. These delivery contractors are often paid per delivery, not by the hour, which creates an incentive to rush. They might not take the time to properly level the refrigerator, which is crucial for the door seals to work correctly and for the automatic ice maker to function. They might not fully explain the setup process or check that the ice maker water line is properly connected and not leaking. I've heard multiple stories of customers discovering small leaks days or weeks after delivery that caused water damage to flooring. The old refrigerator removal is another potential headache. Walmart charges an extra fee for this service, and the delivery team will take your old fridge away. but they're not always careful about protecting your floors and doorways during removal. Scratched hardwood, dinged walls, and damaged door frames are common complaints. And if your old refrigerator was working, you might have been better off selling it or donating it yourself rather than paying Walmart to haul it to a recycling center. Secret number 8. Showroom models run quieter than reality. Let's talk about the showroom floor trick that catches a lot of shoppers. The refrigerators on display at Walmart aren't actually running at full capacity. They're in what's called showroom mode. Plugged in and lit up, but the compressor isn't working hard to maintain temperature because the doors are constantly opening as customers browse. This makes them run quieter than they will in your home. When you get that same model home and it's actually working to keep things at 37 degrees, you might be surprised by how loud it is. Budget refrigerators in particular can have compressors that cycle on with a noticeable hum or even a clicking sound. The fan that circulates air might have a slight rattle. The ice maker will clunk and grind when making ice. These aren't defects exactly, but they're noises you didn't hear in the store. The storage capacity numbers deserve scrutiny too. That 25 cubic foot French door model sounds spacious, but that measurement includes the freezer. The actual refrigerator space might be closer to 17 cubic feet. And cubic feet is just volume. It doesn't account for how that space is actually organized or accessible. Many Walmart refrigerators have fixed shelves instead of adjustable ones, which means you can't rearrange things to fit tall items. The door bins might be shallow to keep the door profile slim. The crisper drawers could be smaller than you'd expect. Secret number 9. First-year models are beta tests. Here's a secret that appliance store salespeople know, but Walmart associates might not mention. The first year after a model launch is when you're most likely to encounter problems. Manufacturers sometimes discover design flaws or component issues after refrigerators start being used in real homes. By year 2 or 3 of production, these bugs have usually been worked out. But Walmart tends to carry first-year models because they can negotiate better prices on new product launches. This means if you're buying the latest design that just came out, you're essentially beta testing it. Online reviews might not reveal problems yet because the model is too new. The early adopters are the ones who discover that the ice maker jams or the door gasket doesn't seal properly or the drawer tracks break after a few months. By the time these issues become widely known, you've already made your purchase. The smart refrigerator features that Walmart has started carrying are a whole separate category of concerns. Wi-Fi connected refrigerators that let you see inside via your phone or order groceries through a touchscreen sound futuristic and convenient. But these features add complexity and potential failure points. The touchscreen can malfunction, the Wi-Fi module can stop working, the cameras inside can fail, and good luck getting any of this repaired under warranty. Most coverage explicitly excludes smart features. Security researchers have also raised concerns about connected appliances being vulnerable to hacking. Secret number 10. Sale prices aren't really sales. The pricing strategy at Walmart is more complex than the sticker suggests. You'll often see rollback prices or special sale prices that create urgency to buy now. But appliance pricing is actually fairly consistent over time. That $1,399 refrigerator, marked down from $1,699, there's a good chance it was never seriously selling at the higher price. The regular price is inflated to make the sale price look more appealing. True clearance deals do happen, usually when Walmart needs to make room for new inventory. End of summer and end of winter are typically good times to find genuine markdowns on refrigerators. Floor models or refrigerators with minor cosmetic damage can also be real bargains if you're willing to accept a small dent or scratch in exchange for a significant price reduction. Just make sure any cosmetic damage doesn't affect functionality. A dented door that doesn't seal properly is no bargain at any price. The environmental impact is something Walmart doesn't highlight, though it matters to a lot of shoppers. Those budget-friendly refrigerators have a shorter expected lifespan, which means they end up in landfills sooner. The manufacturing process for cheap appliances tends to be less environmentally conscious, and the lower energy efficiency, despite those Energy Guide labels, means more electricity consumption and higher carbon emissions over the refrigerator's life. So what should you actually do if you need a refrigerator and Walmart is your shopping option? First, stick with top freezer models if budget is your main concern. They're the most reliable configuration with the fewest components to break. Skip the ice maker if possible. A $20 ice cube tray is more reliable than any built-in system. Look for models that have been in production for at least 2 years, so early design problems have been identified and fixed. Check the model number against what's sold at appliance stores. If you find the exact same model number elsewhere, you're likely looking at a true bargain. If the model number is Walmart exclusive, understand that you're getting a promotional model built to a price point. Read customer reviews carefully, paying particular attention to reviews written after 6 months to a year of ownership. Those will reveal long-term reliability issues that new owners haven't experienced yet. Measure your space carefully before you go shopping. Know the height, width, and depth of the space where your refrigerator will go. And don't forget to account for door clearance and ventilation space behind the unit. Many people buy a refrigerator only to discover it doesn't fit through their doorway or leaves their kitchen door unable to open fully. The reality is that Walmart can be a good place to buy a refrigerator if you go in with realistic expectations. You're not getting the same quality as a premium appliance store model, but you might not need that level of quality. A promotional model refrigerator that lasts 8 years instead of 12 might be perfectly acceptable if it saves you several $100s up front. The key is understanding what you're actually buying. Those yellow price tags and sales stickers hide a lot of compromises in materials, features, and longevity. Walmart's business model depends on value-conscious shoppers who prioritize upfront cost over long-term ownership experience. There's nothing wrong with that choice as long as it's an informed choice. Have you bought a refrigerator from Walmart? What was your experience? Did it meet your expectations or did you run into problems? Drop a comment and let me know which of these 10 secrets surprised you most. And if this video saved you from making an expensive mistake, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss future videos about what big retailers don't tell you.